Hi, this is Janey Imaani and welcome to Emotional Awareness. So in the last episode we spoke about how believing that life is about happiness is a poor strategy to live your life by, because when we come across life's natural tragedies, which happens all the time, we can end up taking it too personally and believing that there's something wrong with us and that's why something bad happened, or maybe it's because we're the failure. So there's a famous theory called the Stockdale Paradox, named after the Admiral Jim Stockdale, who spent 8 years as a prisoner of war in Vietnam, and he was tortured severely, and not only did he survive at that time, but he also helped the other prisoners to survive. And so when Stockdale was asked, oh, who didn't make it, he replied, oh, that's easy, it was the optimists, because they believed that they'll be out by Christmas and then Christmas would come and go, and then they would believe that they're out by Easter and then Easter would come and go, and the years would go by like that, and in the end they died of a broken heart. And then he went on to say that we must never confuse the faith that we can prevail in the end, which is something that we could never afford to lose, with the discipline to confront the most brutal facts of our reality, whatever they may be. So it's really important to force ourselves to see and understand our surroundings and the reality of a situation, so we can actually come up with a plan on how to get through it, because we can't really get through what we can't even see. I've seen a lot of people sort of be blind to their reality, and they tell themselves that everything's going to be okay and they think they're being optimistic or they're being positive, but positivity isn't about not accepting the hardships of life. Okay, so here's the question, right? How can we believe that life is hard and not become pessimistic? So pessimism is about believing that things cannot get better in the future, and that's actually one of the definitions of depression. So the theologian Rob Bell says that despair is actually believing that tomorrow will be the same as today. And so accepting the hardships of life is not pessimism, but believing that things cannot get better in the future, or that there is a light at the end of the tunnel, is pessimism. And actually at that point it's more serious than that, because that's what turns into despair or even depression, like I mentioned before. And so on the other end we have optimism, and optimism is about dealing with the hardships of life and accepting the hardships of life and understanding the gritty facts and the details of all our life and still being hopeful. Because on the other hand, what you could do is ignore it, and ignoring it would be then considered naive or even foolish. And so as Stockdale mentioned, we want to see our reality as clearly as possible so that we can prepare ourselves with the tools that we need to in order to deal with it. And we know how to deal with it, we can deal with it. Life is hard, as you know, and bad things happen all the time, whether it's betrayals or sickness or death or malevolence or something like that. But the most beautiful thing is that we are more strong than life is hard, and we are capable of dealing with it, and not only can we survive it, but we can also prevail the hardships of life. So that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching, and make sure you like, comment and subscribe and share with your friends. Bye!